that? What on earth? Good morning, everyone. Aiden and I, say hi, Aiden.
Hello.
Aiden and I are out on a job here. It's not the most pleasant job, but it needs to be done, so we're gonna get it done. The property owner here has had some issues with the sewer backing up. As you can see there's some, oh man, it's even been wet this morning. Lovely. Got some lovely brown nuggets there and everything. That's so sorry. Maybe we'll blur that out so you guys don't have to see it because that's awful. Regardless, there's a clean out there. It's been backed up and overflown out of the clean out. The pipe goes under the driveway here. And then somewhere in here, it is plugged or broken or something. They had somebody out here with a jetter to run a jet nozzle down the tube, and it didn't resolve the issue. And so now we're here to dig it up and see what we can do to repair it. We got all of our utilities marked out. We got the gas line out the street here. There's electric that comes down that pole, and that's marked over there. You can see a red flag behind the trash can. We are ready to go. The first thing we gotta do though is figure out exactly where that blockage is. Somebody was out here previously and marked where they thought it was, but there's the flag and the pipe should be over there, and I don't know. I'm not gonna start digging without knowing exactly what we're digging for. So first things first, we're gonna send our own camera down the pipe and see what we find out. All right, got the camera all set up and turned on. There you go, you guys can, well, you can't see yourself. That doesn't make sense. I guess you can see me. There we go. All right, time to put it down the hole. Oh, perfect. Right away, there's water like a foot down the hole. So that's great. We're just not gonna be able to see anything. Alrighty, well, this is gonna be easy. We're not gonna be actually looking for nothing. We're just gonna be pushing this thing down and then using the sensor to figure out where it gets stuck. Smells delicious. It's also making all kinds of gurgly sounds. Yum. Okay, right about 30 feet there. Alrighty. Okay, we're on push. See how it says 60 hertz up there? We need 512 on the sonde. See if you can just figure out where it goes to. Should be out in there.
Right there.
That's saying where it's at?
As long as that's where the target's supposed to be.
Okay, so that's not too far from that guy's flag. I guess we'll start digging here. Now I gotta do the lovely job of pulling the camera back out because we don't want to have that camera down there while we're digging. All we can do here is clean this the best we can as it comes back up and then hose it off later. Uh-oh. There we go. Whew. I was scared for a second, thought we were stuck. That would be no bueno. Don't splatter me with it. First thing we're gonna do here is scratch the gravel off so we can put it back when we're done. Before I scraped the gravel off, I made some offset marks here so I knew exactly where I would be needing to dig when it came time to dig. So we're gonna go ahead and dig. I got the machine all lined up on those marks. Start digging down. We got about 4.5 feet to go. Well, folks, I messed up. I got a little ambitious and dug too fast and didn't let Aiden measure between my buckets, and I hit the pipe. So we're gonna pump this water out real quick, and then we'll get to fixing at least the spot that I broke, you know. Typically, sewer lines are buried in gravel. I was kind of hoping to see the gravel before I saw the pipe, but that was not the case this time. Now, don't be alarmed. We're not pumping this out across the ground. Raw sewage would be terrible to be pumping out across the ground. We got it going into a sanitary manhole over there. It's going down the same pipes that it would be if it was going down the pipes to get there. Well, there you go. You can see the pipe there, right next to the pump. You can see water flowing out of the pipe, so that means the water is free flowing up until that point. It's not going down the pipe, so that means that our blockage or our collapse or whatever is further downstream. Now, the pipe isn't quite the same angle as the hole, so we're gonna have to get the excavator going again and dig some of this back further. I'm gonna go ahead and cut this pipe off while we got it exposed here. We want a nice clean end to work with when we go to fix it. Oh, she's under some tension. Got my saw blade pinched. There we go. Everything's a fight. Alrighty, there we go. We got our pipe out. It looks like I'm gonna have to straighten my cuts up a little bit, but at least we got a piece out. Alrighty, I went ahead and cut the pipe here, just hoping maybe the blockage issue or whatever was in the middle here. We're gonna lift this out of here and see. Water's flowing backwards, but it's not flowing away. So that means the blockage is still downstream a little bit. Lovely. All right, I did some investigation. I stuck a rod down the pipe this way, and I found about 2 feet down, there's some hard, crazy blockage. So we're gonna go have to move the excavator over here and dig this back a little further like I said earlier. I was hoping to not have to, but that's what we gotta do. All right, I scraped off some more gravel. We got this line drawn where the pipe's at. I'm gonna start digging and try to avoid knocking dirt back in the hole. We'll see how it goes. Said I'm not quite centered up over the pipe, so we're going to dig a little off of this side of the trench here. Now that we know exactly how deep the pipe is, we can get down in there and uncover it by hand before I tear it up with a machine again. Time to do some sweat work. Right there you can see I uncovered the pipe. We got a lot of dirt still on top of it here, so I'm going to use the excavator to pull it off, and I'll have Aiden give me directions, make sure I don't get too close. We gotta get as close as we can with the machine so we're not down there digging by hand the rest of the day. That's close enough. We'll do the rest by hand. Well, this is what I've uncovered. As you can see here, there's a fitting, and it's about the right distance back from the end of the pipe where I thought the blockage was. So hopefully the problem's right in here, or right in front of it would be even better. I really don't want to have to replace this fitting, so we're going to start by cutting it in front of the fitting and leaving us just enough to hook onto there, enough pipe to hook onto with our repair piece. If we end up having to cut the fitting off, no big deal. Hopefully our problem is not far from here because this fitting makes the pipe turn a little bit and then also dive down. It's not that big of a deal to dig deeper, but eventually you get deep enough, you gotta have shoring and trench protection, all that stuff. I didn't bring any of that with me, so that would really interrupt our day if we had to go a lot deeper. There we go, we're all the way through. Hey, I think I see parts of the problem. There we go, that's part of the blockage. That's nasty. Yum. We cut right through it. Looks like it's some wadded up textile material or tissue or something. Probably just balled up in there and came down and plugged the pipe. All right, I've done all the work in the whole tub till now, Aiden. It's time for you to get down here and claw that stuff out for me.
I got this. I'm just kidding.
Well, good, because I don't want you to get that. All right, I'm gonna see if I can spoon the rest of this out. Oh yeah, there's like a rock in there. You hear that? What on earth? Somebody flushed an actual brick. What is that? Why would you do that? No wonder the jetter couldn't get it and the snake couldn't get it. Somebody flushed an actual brick. That's why it's been in there a long time too. You can see the black on it. That's crazy. Well, at least we know we found the problem. There's nothing worse than putting something back together not knowing exactly for sure that you found the problem. And I know we found it. This is the problem. Well, folks, I just wasted like an entire hour and a half driving all over the countryside to find a specific fern co-fitting that I wanted to use to make these connections. I wanted to find a rubber coupler that I could slide all the way onto one pipe with four clamps on it and a rigid stainless steel band to help give it support in case something were to need extra support. A correct installation of pipe won't need extra support, but that's typically the standard thing that we use to connect underground pipes for repairs and that kind of thing. I couldn't find one. I found a couple of smaller versions that were narrower that I just wasn't satisfied with, so we're gonna put some stone under the pipe to give it all the support in the world, which is the actual best solution, and then we're gonna end up using just regular fern co couplers. It's not my favorite, it's what I got to work with though. Alrighty, hand me that pipe, Aiden.
All right.
Thank you. Oh wow, it's really slippery. I put my hand right into the lube. These couplers weren't sliding on real nice, so I had him lube them up, which was a good move because we don't want them to slide hard down here, but they also make them slippery to hold on to. All right, that looks like a perfect fit. Can you hand me that, the brick hammer? It's what I need first. Just gonna tap these into place. Okay, I can feel that nice. The coupler is centered over the joint. Go ahead and tighten these up. I really need to get a little 1/4" impact to tighten these things. I just haven't done it yet, so we're still tightening them by hand. All right, we'll get the other one tapped on here. All right, that one feels good. Seems like whenever we do sewer work, it's always like 90 degrees, full sun. At least today we got a little breeze. The last time we were doing sewer work, it was installing a new lateral and we were 9 feet down and we were using trench boxes and you couldn't even touch the side of the trench box because it was so hot. Sun shining on it. All right, there we go. Now that we've got both those couplers installed, we can go ahead and backfill stone around this pipe and we'll go ahead and choke it under the pipe real good with the shovel. Make sure that pipe is as well supported as it could possibly be supported. This is also a milestone part of the project because now if somebody flushes inside the house, it doesn't matter. When that pipe was open, though we asked the people there not to do anything, don't put anything down the drain, it inevitably happens and we get to experience the direct consequences. But now we don't have to worry about that anymore. Just gotta fill it back up. I got just a little bit of stone in the back of the truck to cover this pipe with, but I don't want to dump it all out, so we're gonna just dip out of the back of the truck here a little bit. Got Aiden backing up for us. A little closer, a little closer. That's probably good. Then we can use the excavator, just very carefully place it on the pipe down there. We don't want to completely cover it, but just leave the top showing so we can get down in there and make sure that stone gets choked under the pipe well. Okay, so I completely covered it. I'll fix that when I get down there. We're gonna put about a foot of stone on top of that, so if anybody else has to dig it up, they'll run into the stone before they run into the pipe. Next, we're gonna put this dirt back in the hole. This property owner did not want to spend the money to haul this dirt off and put premium backfill in, which is probably okay. I think we can get away with it here. Putting the original dirt back in the hole and just packing it in really good. This is good dirt and it's dry. It's got an appropriate moisture content for packing. I think we can make it work. Well, we got all the dirt back in the hole and we packed it in really, really tight. I even scratched out a little bit to get it leveled out and it was super hard, and we tracked it in again. So I think this will actually be pretty reliable. This stuff isn't too far from like a bank run material, so I have good faith in it. Now I just gotta throw the limestone that we saved earlier back over the dirt and we'll be good to go. Alright, there we go. Looks good as new. Aiden's putting the final touches on the edge of the road there. Doesn't even look like we were here. That's the way I like to leave jobs. Don't often get that opportunity, but it's certainly rewarding to me when I do. I like to do the work we need to do with as little inconvenience to the residents as possible. We went ahead and put a cap on the clean out here. There wasn't one, which is really kind of strange and hazardous, and not having a cap on there is quite possibly how this problem all originated. It's also quite possible that the last tenant left on poor terms, and that was their last sabotaging effort, was to throw a brick piece down the drain. That's the most plausible explanation I have. If you guys got any other ideas how that thing got down there, put them in the comments, because I don't know. It's super hot. I'm gonna help Aiden chain the machines down and then we're gonna get out of here. We finished this one up mid-afternoon, so thankfully we didn't get into the hottest part of the day, but it's still plenty warm. If you've been following the channel for any time at all, you know what I like to do on warm days. Ice cream therapy. Does this make everything better, Aiden?
It's a fantastic.
I'll keep that in mind for the next sewer job. I don't know if it's gonna be fantastic. Well, folks, we still have some work to do. We need to go home and wash our tools and get this truck unloaded and maybe even wash this truck. It's kind of dirty. But this is the end of the video. So thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you really enjoyed it. If you could do me a huge favor, reach down, hit that like button, maybe even leave me a comment. Always love hearing from you guys. I hope you have a great day. I love you guys. We'll see you next time.